Hi, and welcome to CryptoBiography. I'm your host, Brandon Starr. This is episode 427 of CryptoBiography, and it's part one of The Spotter. And here we go. Guy Troyer couldn't remember the first time it happened. Maybe he could do it from birth. But he could see heat, like a thermal imaging camera. This is on top of the normal spectrum that people can see. There are some animals that can detect infrared, but they generally do it not with their eyes, but with other sensory organs. There are a lot of infrared cameras nowadays, but being able to see it naturally changes things. Outside, he could generally see well into the night, using the remaining heat of the day and the different levels. Inside, it was more difficult, unless there wasn't much in the way of air conditioning and the house was warmed up a lot by the heat of the afternoon. He learned early not to talk about seeing heat, or thermal vision, or seeing into the infrared, or anything like that. People acted strangely when he did, so he learned to say, when he had to say anything, that he had excellent night vision. His parents knew the truth, or at least they had. They got a divorce when he was 8, and his father died of complications from alcoholism when he was 13. He was already living with his mother, so his life didn't change too much when his father died. He had wanted a good relationship with his father more than he had actually had one. His father had become too busy drinking to spend time with anyone, even him. They lived just outside a small town in northern Idaho. Almost every night he would walk in the woods, except when it was dead of winter. He loved seeing animals at night. They showed as small blobs, which would resolve into whatever critter he had stumbled upon. If it was an animal on the ground, when they moved away, he could watch their footsteps fade as the heat dissipated. He could also see larger animals through the trees and track them quite easily. He hunted occasionally, but didn't find much thrill in it. When the animal died, he could see the heat escape from their body. It bothered him, pushing the death he had caused right in his face, in a way that not even skinning the animal did. Soon he only hunted once or twice a year for a deer, which he learned to strip for meat for him and his mom. That felt good, helping her. He also liked meeting with people in dark or nearly dark situations. Their faces looked so different than they did in the daylight. Their blood vessels gave each face a unique heat map, making everyone even more unique than they looked in the day. He exercised a lot. Not only would he take long walks at night, he got a set of free weights and was regularly using them. He did only okay in high school, being too interested in his evening and night walks and less interested in homework and studying. Because of this, he graduated, but it was a fairly close thing. College was not really a possibility, so he enlisted with the Marines. The Navy and the Coast Guard were out because being out on the water didn't mean much for his heat vision. The same with the Air Force. He could see the heat from jets from quite a ways away, but it really meant nothing when technology made his sight redundant. So it was the Marines or the Army. He might have gone into either, but he spoke with a Marines recruiter first. The recruiter was curious about Guy's boasts about his night vision. He offered to take him to a late dinner. Afterwards, it was quite dark. The recruiter stepped around a corner to a dark spot and held up fingers in the near blackness. The recruiter couldn't even see his own hands, and Guy told him how many fingers he was holding up without any problem. Boot camp in San Diego, where the Western recruits went, was smooth. Guy was in excellent shape already and was used to long walks and hikes and being outdoors. Clearly, the recruiter had passed along the information on Guy's ability to see well at night because he was pushed, as he thought he would be, into the reconnaissance and then sniper training programs. He passed them easily and became a fully fledged Marine scout sniper. He was one of the last to receive such a designation before it was phased out at the end of 2023. He preferred being a spotter to being a triggerman. He felt he could do a better job keeping his team safe with his vision, been looking through the gun scope. Of course, he could do both jobs and do them well, but he made it known that he preferred being the spotter, and for the most part, that was the job he was given. No one knew that he had anything particularly special, though they all knew he had incredible night vision without any equipment. Some of his platoon mates called him Owl because of his ability to see a mouse in the dark, and because of his ability to move very quietly, a skill which he had picked up somewhat from hunting, but worked hard to develop during his recon training. Kind of an awkward spot to stop, I suppose, but that is the end of the story for this week. Obviously, there's going to be more. I hope you're enjoying it. If you have any comments or questions about this episode or previous episodes, cryptobiography@gmail.com, or hit us up on Facebook or Blue Sky. And thanks for listening. Words of music copyright 2025, Brandon Starr, all rights reserved. Characters and events are fictional, fictionalized, or satirical.